Yeah, it's crazy to think of like that journey of you, kind of being pigeonholed into doing announcing, never really loving that, and then falling into your whole life post WWE. I mean, doing everything with AEW, taking on that chief brand officer position. And for people that just don't understand that and they just see you as one thing, I mean, that's got to be so frustrating. It's frustrating, but also exciting to kind of like recreate yourself and continue to prove yourself. And I think that's something you've done really phenomenally, is just continuing to prove yourself to people and getting in there and, never just like staying knocked down. It's like having more matches, getting in the ring, whatever the million things I'm sure you're doing behind the scenes, but it's impressive to see.
Well, thank you. Yeah, no, it's just one of those things that I'm never gonna just take lying down that I don't deserve to do this because originally I was doing something else, or I don't deserve to do it because of who my husband is. I can't control those things. I think I deserve as much of a chance as anyone else. And I think it's really easy for people to say, well, she doesn't work hard and stuff. Well, I didn't break my collarbone taking it easy. So,
right.
I don't know how else to work any harder, but it's great though too, because it's really rewarding. Like as soon as this happened, I feel like a true test is if you miss something like immediately. And man, I've never been so bittersweet about something, because when I found out that I was pregnant, I actually was talking to Ricky Starks about this the other day, because we were building to a match. I had just had the singles match with Anna Jay, and that everybody was like, that was a really great match. And we thought that they were both going to suck.
It was great.
Yeah, but, so we were just like, no, we don't suck, guys. Like we're working hard. We know what we're doing. So then we're supposed to have a tag match with me and Red Velvet against Tay and Anna. Tay J, as everybody likes to call it. So cards stacked against me and Velvet on this one. But we're really looking forward to it and really exciting. And we were going to plan some aspects of that match. So I was meeting Ricky at the Nightmare Factory. And it was that morning that I found out that I was pregnant. And I was like, well, I can't just not go to the Nightmare Factory. But at the same time, I got to stop doing stuff.
You can't take a bump.
So, and even it was really crazy. My doctor even said, you should finish what you're doing. It's not going to hurt you. Like I was so minusculely pregnant that it was two of my doctors.
That's scary.
Yeah, both of them said it's fine. And I was like, do you really know what I do though? And like, they're like, yeah, because they follow, what I do. They're like, yeah, you're absolutely fine. And I was like, you know what? I could never live with it if something happened and I knew this. So I was like, God, I got to get out of this. So I remember I went to the training and just kind of stood around, stretched and walked through things, didn't want to really do anything. And everybody kept being like, do you want to try that? No, I'm good. I got it. I'm good. And then I was like, gosh, well, we have this, match coming up like in a week. So how do I get out of that? So then I just started acting like my knee was hurting, which was great because I was wearing heels all the time, but then saying like, oh, my knee is messed up. And that's how that promo came about with Jade. I wasn't going to do anything with that. I hate when I spill over into multiple stories, but it happens a lot because like you start something and then they figure out, well, the logical person to bring into here is Brandi, or the logical person is Cody. Or the girls will pitch something with me and not knowing that I'm already doing something else. And so I was like, oh crap. Well, I just don't want to like get into two things. Like that was supposed to happen and end that. And then this new thing was going to happen with Jade and everybody, but I wasn't supposed to do that promo that night. But then I was like, I can't wrestle. So Tony said, well, yeah, I want you to have an interaction there and have this promo. So I said, okay. So then I was like, well, what do you want me to do? And he was like, well, you ever seen Curb Your Enthusiasm where Vivica Fox is, with Larry and Susie comes up, opens the door, and Susie's always cursing at Larry and acting crazy. And then Vivica takes the door and curses her out and slams the door in her face. I was like, of course, I love Curb Your Enthusiasm. He was like, do that. And I was like, okay, can I like curse and everything? Because that's what you have to do for that. And he's like, yeah. And then I just did it. And it was the funnest thing ever. Like I would love to do that again someday. It was like so cathartic. And so funny. And also like Jade is a great person to play off of because she had not done anything yet, and I was just kind of like saying to her, well, don't get thrown off by me, I'm going to go to 100. Like, so don't take anything personally, or, if you can't look at me, don't look at me, whatever you need to do. She was perfect, man. Yeah. She was perfect, mocking me with the double buys and all this stuff. And I was like, oh, she's great. Yeah. So I'm sad. I'm really.
What was like your reaction to, because I feel like everybody else was like freaking out online. Like, I feel like it was like trending, right? When you came out and just started like going off on Jade, like that was a big moment.
Yeah, no, it was great. Cause I think nobody's seen that yet. When they've seen character stuff with me, it's always calm. And I curse a lot, Detroit Brandi likes her promos, but it's always calm. I never go to 100. I'm always at like 60. So I think it surprised a lot of people. And it opened up a conversation about code switching, which I don't think it's a conversation that people should have if they're not Black. Like, I really don't. And there were some like reporters.
Wait, what is code switching? I don't know what that is.
Code switching is when you take on a certain like voice tone persona for certain groups of people, but then you take on a certain for other groups of people.
Got it.
The problem with that is when it comes to me, when I'm actually mad, that doesn't exist. That's not real. And so literally, if you've heard me be mad, but I don't think you've ever heard me hit 100. Like 100 is high for me.
No.
And it's nothing matters except for what I think and what I have to say to you. And that's what I did there, in that I didn't know anything she was saying. And that was by design. I didn't want to know her promo. I didn't want to know what she was going to do with Cody. So she comes in this ring. She's an absolute specimen of a human being. She's touching my husband. She said he had a small dick. Like, all these things are happening that I didn't know were going to happen. So I'm getting amped up, and even people backstage in Gorilla are going, holy shit, Brandi, what are you going to do? What are you going to do? I'm not even answering anybody. I'm like, just tell me.
That's high stakes.
Yeah, I'm like, just tell me when I go out. But I was like, I'm going to cut her ass up. Like, I'm going to just cut her to the bone. Like, I'm so glad she's doing this because it makes it easier for me. So yeah, I just went out there like with real anger and real emotion and said a bunch of stuff. And they forgot to bleep a lot of it. They were behind because they're not used to me doing that. It was great. No, it was so funny. But yeah, that's, you can't call somebody out for code switching unless that's actually what they're doing. And I'll be honest. I have what I call an announcer's voice, which is my professional voice, but that's not even my in-ring persona unless I'm announcing. But, so when I cut promos and stuff as just Brandi, that's not even that. That's what I would consider code switching. Like, if Brandi on the news, like total different diction. Got it. Every word enunciated. Yeah. Just try to get rid of the Midwestern accent, like straight delivery. So I thought it was a little unfair for people who've never seen that side of me to coin it that way. But I definitely thought it was really unfair for a white man to say, and I won't say who it was, but it was a reporter that said, well, she better talk like that all the time now. And I'm like, who are you? Tell me what I better do ever, or anybody, what we better do. You don't have to like it, but you can't tell me.
I just feel like that kind of, yeah. And like, that just kind of comes back to what we were saying before, where it's like, people have only been able to see a certain version of you for so long. And as you're changing and you're growing, and, just to people always just want to put somebody in a box. And that's all that is. People are like, who is this person? I don't know what this is. I don't know how to react to it. That people just want to like have such strong opinions on things and like throw it at you.
Yeah. It's never ending. It's crazy. But I really did though. Like, I really enjoyed that particular promo. And honestly, I know they put it on the AEW awards. I feel like I've had better promos than that. That one was just fun for people. Like, I feel like when I called Jake Roberts a dirty old man, that was better. But that's not what they put in. That's not what they put in the promo.